This is why you come out to the mountain creek sites. I don't think you'd see these on campus. Two pretty tall eastern hemlocks, Carolina hemlocks of some kind. This is the kind of site that they love, these moist creekside mountain areas. I'm in Burlesford, South Carolina, but I'm going to use this tree as an example to talk about growth forms. We look at this tree. We got our meristem, and from the stem emerges branches, and we can see they appear in very clear axes, kind of evenly spaced, not perfectly spaced, but pretty evenly spaced apart from each other. And we could use that maybe to even find the age of the tree, maybe, because it is a determinate growth form. This is also an excurrent growth form, because as we can see, we just have this one central stem, and the branches come off of it all the way up. There's no secondary stem growth that takes over, and like some of these trees around here that you might see. There's one right next to the camera right now that I'll show that is a pretty good example of a decurrent growth form, the opposite of excurrent, because you can see that its stem kind of branches off into all these other stems. Not the case with the hemlock. Of course, this also makes the hemlock unimodal, meaning that there's just one stem. If you want an example of a tree that's multinodal, we've got this one over here, Devil's Walking Stick. I hadn't seen any of these outside of lab, but here's one right here from which there are two stems just coming straight out of the ground, but it's one tree. It's very clearly one tree. And while this is determinate as well, it is multinodal. If you want another example of an indeterminate tree, this thing over here, whatever this is, it might be mountain laurel. It could also not be mountain laurel. I'm not entirely sure. That's definitely an indeterminate tree. You can see it's kind of branching out away from some of the other trees out here where there's more sunlight, as opposed to on this side where it might be obscured by all these pines. Maybe this guy, this loblolly that was once standing, unfortunately no longer with us. And so these kind of give you some good examples of how different trees can thrive in the same environment because of their growth patterns. These are very different trees. This one's so short, but because it's able to creep right into the right space, it's very shade tolerant. It can really get that sun that it might not have otherwise gotten under this hemlock. So growth forms, very essential to understanding why trees grow the way they do.